We're going to talk about our stuffer to our plunger timing. Going ahead, we can push down on this, we trip our stuffer trip arm. Now we're going to go ahead and engage our stuffer. And as our stuffer starts to come down into our charge chamber here, you're going to notice that our holding fingers are going to come up out of the way here, and they're going to go all the way out. You can see those fingers are going to go out past about a half of an inch is about where the adjustment that we want it to be. Now right up here is the edge of where we're going to be looking. As our plunger comes towards the back, we're going to want this knife to be about right here as our stuffer comes up to the top and pushes that flake of hay off. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to run this stuffer on up. And as you can see, as the stuffer comes up here, now the holding fingers are going to start to come in. You can see the plunger's coming towards the back. It's getting close to the edge there. Okay, now our holding fingers are starting to come in. Our plunger knives are right to the flush of our wrappers right here. And now the stuffer arm is going to start to retract on us. And that is the correct timing right there. Okay, you can see as our stuffer arm is coming down, our holding fingers are now starting to retract. Now, so they're going to go back in about a half of an inch. You can see our plungers moving forward, and now our stuffer tines are starting to come up. So it's going to continue to bring that flake of hay on up here. You can see the plunger is starting to move towards the back of the baler. Okay, now the thing that we're really looking for in this adjustment is right here. You're going to want this knife to be about to the edge here as this stuffer continues to come on up. Okay, you can see as the plunger's moving back, it's wiping the flake of hay off of here. So this is starting to retract and go to the front. Our holding fingers are now starting to come in. The big thing that we don't want is we don't want this plunger to be out this far and we're still coming up and stuffing that flake of hay into the bottom of this plunger. That's when we start to get stuffer shear bolt breakage. So these three areas are really important. This being to the flush, this not really coming up anymore, it's starting to pull out, and our holding fingers starting to come in. Now as we continue up a little bit, you can see this just continues to pull out of the charge chamber. Our holding fingers are coming in. So now that flake of hay is now sitting on top of our holding fingers. Now it just continues to keep coming back here. Now, if for some reason that timing is off, that's when you go out and you'll adjust your stuffer drive sprocket, that timing there to adjust it right here. So that's how you look for your stuffer to plunger time. All right, now if for some reason our stuffer to plunger timing is off to where our plunger may be late, when it's coming up there to wipe that off, or it's way early and it's sticking in an inch or two to your stuffer, still shoving that hay in the bottom of your plunger. This is where we're going to come over here, and we're going to come and you're going to loosen this shield here and you're basically going to take this shield off. You're going to loosen this nut right here and loosen this tightening draw bolt right in here. Once you do that, you're going to take your hammer, tap this up, and loosen this chain. Now at this point, with your timing marks lined up, I'm off just a little bit here, but you're going to have them lined up. You can take this chain and loosen it and then jump a leak. The earlier 2190s were really famous for this chain loosening up, and then it would want to jump 1 to 2 to 3 teeth. And so you're going to loosen this up, jump a tooth, tighten it back up, run the stuffer back up and check the timing. And if it's where you want it, great, go ahead and tighten everything down, put your shield back on. If it's not, go ahead and jump at another tooth. Typically, one tooth will do us what we want to do. Our earlier 2170s, our timing from the factory was off 1 to 2 teeth, and that's so we were coming up about 3 inches of our final stroke and coming up into the bottom of that plunger. So that's the process that we need to do to go through to physically check our stuffer to our plunger timing. And this is typically done if we're shearing the shear bolt here, or if we've replaced the chain. We'll go through our timing marks, and we've got a video on that, and to physically check our plunger to our stuffer timing.